smartest thing I ever did coming to Ames. I did not do the wrong thing. I did the right thing. So many beautiful people here that I met. You know, the other good thing about here is they cared about you academically as well. They did everything they could to ensure that you kept your mark. It just worked out real well for me. It really worked out well, you know. It was Iowa v. Iowa State all the time, you know, and 100 times over I did the right thing, 100 times over. Honestly, I didn't really have any strengths back then. I just did what I thought I could do to help the team. I was always a terrible free throw shooter. I scored all right because I only shot 1-footers, but you know, rebounders are just, you just have to go and get it. And sometimes it's just a little bit more blue collar work than it is white collar. You never see a guy in headlines, you know, Andrew Parker got 32 rebounds. Well, that's just never gonna happen, you know. So I just went and did what I could do, and I was fortunate that I did that all right, which enabled me to do well at school, but also enabled me to do well, you know, after my education. We didn't win a whole lot of games, but when we did win, it was really something special, you know. And my second year, when we had a pretty good side, Andrew was going off, and I was leading the country in rebounding for a while, and it was fun. Nothing like winning, and nothing like winning, you know. We did a lot of losing, so it's nothing like winning. I had beautiful teammates, I really did, you know, and they all mean something to me, you know, beautiful teammates. You know, at the time, I was pretty self-centered. I never thought about anybody but myself, to be honest with you. I wanted to make sure that I was going to have a spot on this team and do whatever I have to do to keep it. But then I started to meet guys like, I come in here and Chuck was the best player in the state that year, and I didn't know him from a hill of beans, you know, but I knew he was really good. And my confidence, and I still have problems with this, my self-esteem sometimes isn't where it should be. And I'm thinking, well, what am I doing here with these? They're all really good, and what am I here for? And I sort of thought that way. I still do sometimes now. Anyway, he and I we formed a bond, you know, and even to today, we're best friends, and he always will be my best friend. And guys like Tillo, Ness, I tell you, Tillo, he was funny. We would go on the road and it'd be, you know, boring, so boring on the road, and this guy was so smart. We would start to name the 50 states of America, right? And then he goes, all right, let's name the 50 capitals. He knew everything. Bill Buchanan was one of my roommates. He was from the South. And then, of course, my first roommate was a senior, Steve Bergie, a lovely man. I remember Ricky Birdsong. He was just a lovely man. And all those guys that play were beautiful. I would not say a bad word about any of them. Australia is a great place if you're an athlete, because as long as you do your best, they're happy with that. Chuck went down a year before me, and his mom and dad went to visit him, and they said, you should go, you really like it. I said, okay, I'll go. I didn't even talk about money. I just wanted to come play with Chuck. I didn't care about anything else. And I should have asked about money because they didn't give us any. I should have asked about a car because they didn't give us a car either. They gave me an apartment. It was above one of those 24-hour medical centers that never closes. So that was a sort of, and they gave you a job. That's how you got money. You had a job. And my first job was working in a factory, putting screws in theater seats, you know, zzz, 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 zzz. That was my job. Anyway, everything I've got, I'm very fortunate, you know. I'm very blessed, you know, like, I'm very blessed. I owe everything to this place. I really do, you know. You look back and you think, oh, you know, it's just uni, no big deal, you know, but it's a big deal, huge deal. You know, what I was able to get here and some of the bonds I have with the boys, you know, might not see them all that often, but when you see them, it's like you hadn't missed them for a while, you know, and it's just really nice. And you might not come back here very often, but it's nice to know where you've come from. Like last year, I was watching the NCAA, and Iowa State did so well in the tournament. You know, I think they got down to like the 16 or something like that, and they beat some really good schools going in. And, you know, pretty proud of that. You know, I went to school there. I was really shocked. I thought, what did I ever do that was so good to get into, you know, and it means the world to me. It's hard to explain because you never really assume it's going to happen to you. Like Andrew Parker, yeah, like he deserved to be in there. He deserved it. That guy could play. You know, but I was just a player. You know, I didn't do anything special. I just went out and did what I did, and I hope it was good enough. You know, I'm just really blessed. I'm just so grateful for everything I have, and this is where it all started.